Breaking news!
What is up, everyone out there? We have some breaking news, and I am joined by my life partner. He's not really my life partner. He's just my co-host on my podcast. His name is Flying Rich, and I think DLD After Dark might be joining us too. I'm not sure. We're also broadcasting to his channel. So I usually wait on Fridays to make a video because something always breaks on Fridays. Always.
Well, it's Document Dump Friday.
Document Dump Friday. That's what I do call it. And it's not quite a document dump, but we did get word that a cert was granted in the Cargill case. If you're not familiar with the Cargill case, it is the case of Michael Cargill, who is actually a friend of the show. He's been on the show. He was on the show when he won, like right after he won last time. I haven't given him a call. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. And say, congratulations, would you want to come on the show? Actually, I will. But he sued the federal government over bump stocks. And he won on the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. They ruled that the ATF overstepped their boundaries. They violated the Administrative Procedures Act. And they need to knock down the bump stock rule. That happened. But it went up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court stayed that decision until they could decide to grant cert or not. And they have decided to grant cert. The reason why I said that they were going to do that, and I believe that they were going to do that, is because there was a circuit split in the courts. Basically, a circuit split means that the Fifth Circuit said bump stocks, and a 13-3 ruling said bump stocks are not machine guns, and the ATF violated the APA by making them machine guns. They overstepped their boundaries. Now we have a couple other cases. There is one out of Ohio, the 6th, and they said that bump stocks are, well, originally they ruled bump stocks were not machine guns, but then they had an 8-8 split. So yes. So now that happened. And then there was another circuit that ruled that bump stocks were also not machine guns. It didn't go quite as far as the Fifth, but it did. So that happened. And then you have the DC district that ruled that they are machine guns. And then you have the 11th that ruled that they are machine guns, or the 10th. The 10th ruled that they are machine guns. So that is what happened here. So basically we have like 4 different courts rule, one in the middle, 2 saying that they are not machine guns, 2 saying that they are. So 5 courts, I guess. So you have
can Cargill have a bump stock?
Right now, no. There's a stay.
So nobody can have a bump stock.
Nobody can have a bump stock right now.
Okay.
The 8th says that they're not machine guns. And then the DC Circuit Court says that they are. The 10th says that they are, and the 5th says they are not.
Okay, so this is different than the brace rule.
And the 6th said it was a split 8-8.
Okay, so different than the pistol brace rule. If you're a member of GOA, FPC,
you have an injunction against the pistol brace rule. The ATF has been enjoined from taking enforcement action against you.
Okay, but nobody can have a bump stock right now. Now the question is
braces. If you are a member of GOA, FPC, SAF, you 100% can own a bump stock. You can buy a bump stock, right? Not bump stock, a pistol brace. You can buy a pistol brace. Yeah. You can put it on there. You can have it on a pistol. Bump stocks are different. There is a stay. The decisions were stayed until the Supreme Court stayed. Now, if the Supreme Court denied cert, it would have been a really weird situation where there were certain places in the country that you could own bump stocks and they were not machine guns, and other places in the country where you couldn't own bump stocks because the ATF considered them machine guns. So now, this is what I expected, because it had to go up to the Supreme Court.
Right. There had to be a clear and concise decision. Now the next question is, what's it look like?
Well, here's the thing. If you asked me like 2 months ago, I would have been like, yeah, this is going to be a slam dunk.
Because it's the same court that gave us Bruin, right?
Yeah. Now with the Amy Coney Barrett and John Robert, more Amy Coney Barrett, like flipping out on Second Amendment, like bitching out on Second Amendment, I'm not as confident.
I hate to say it, I don't even see the bump stock as a Second Amendment case, because I really see it as more of an APA case. It
is an APA case. When I say Second Amendment, I am talking about it in the broader sense. Mm-hmm. One of the challenges is a Second Amendment issue, though.
So the reason, if you go technically as a gun guy, I see it as an APA case, because the law discusses a pull of a trigger, in that with the bump stock,
single function of a trigger,
right? A single function. Thank you for because that's important. That is important.
Yeah, they were trying to change it to be a pull of the trigger.
Yeah,
a function of a trigger.
So a single function of the trigger. The bump stock does not make a gun a machine gun. It just allows you to fire faster and maybe less precisely, but whatever. If you want to dump a mag and you don't want to pay 20 grand for a legal full auto, yeah, fine. I don't have an issue with anybody owning full auto either, period, because I believe the Second Amendment grants us that, or protects us to have that right. Let me make sure it says I say these things correctly.
Well, let me text Michael.
Yeah.
So Michael is a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, it still fires with a single pull, so it does not make it a machine gun. I believe you would have to have a different law. The ATF can't just decide that too.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely can't.
And that's why look, Second Amendment to me, Bruin is gospel, and there were no prohibitions of anything when the Second Amendment was ratified. So as far as I'm concerned, machine guns are legal.
Yep.
And I believe that as Bruin gets adjudicated, that will prove to be the case, that we'll have constitutional carry, 50-state reciprocity, etc.
I hope. But we will see. When they do put out a writ of certiorari, it is not extensive. It just says certiorari granted, and it says Cargill right there. So they
So
don't
there's no
really want
text.
you.
There's nothing for me to read for you.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing for you to
Okay.
read. So that was granted today. It just says that. I'm not going to even put it up on the screen. It'll be like a waste. It's just a paper that says certiorari granted.
Well, freaking yeah, cool. I mean, I hope it goes the right way. That's the thing that I worry about.
No, Ed, your book went out today. By the way, I am selling a book.
Crumpy books are going out?
Yes,
Are you kidding me? Did I get a book?
yes.
Ooh, anything else in that box? Was there anything else?
Oh, you'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
But yeah, so if anybody wants to buy my book, you can buy my book. So this is good news because we're
We
finally going to get we're finally going to get it settled.
Look. We know Sotomayor, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and who's the other one? The otherwise Latina. They're all going to vote.
Well, we know
way.
there's going to be 5 4 definitely voting against it.
And to me, like, I couldn't even if I was anti-firearm. The law is the law. The ATF is violating the letter of the law, what it specifically says. If they want to do that, they need to change it.
Yeah. So basically,
Congress has to pass a new law.
Basically, you're going to get definitely 3 voting against it. I would.
Kagan, thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be Sotomayor, Kagan, and Miss Brown Jackson. There, Miss Brown Jackson, Justice Brown Jackson, and the wild cards are going to be Kavanaugh and Roberts. I think Gorsuch, not Kavanaugh, Roberts. Sorry, Roberts and ABC, the ACB, Amy Coney Barrett. Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Thomas, and Alito will vote that it's not a machine gun.
And that's the thing that's infuriating to me. Even if I was a gun grabber and hated everybody's Second Amendment right, I would still, because I'm ethical, have to look at the letter of the law and say, no, this, the bump stock ban violates the letter of the law. The trigger is getting pulled and, reciprocating each time for each round shot. You need to write a new law to change that, and that's the only way, because I don't believe in legislating from the bench either. I believe that's not constitutional. That's wrong.
Yeah
So if we were going to war game this, and let's just say it went bad, is it possible that they would legislate from the bench and change it to function of the trigger and not action?
No, it's already function of the trigger. The ATF tried to change it to pull of the trigger.
Pull, right. In other words, with an FRT, you just pull back, you just maintain back pressure.
Yeah.
And it'll continue to fire.
One function is going back, one function is going forward. Yeah. You can email me at info@crumpy.com, and I'll get one out to you.
Yeah, I just, it's amazing that ethics have no bearing in things, in rule of law. It's a tragedy.
Yeah. Imagine that. No ethics in the rule of law. But this is good. It's going to be settled, and this might actually knock down everything else. That is what's being lost here. The power that the ATF used to decide bump stocks, if SCOTUS says that they abuse their power, they overstep their power, They use the same power to came up with the frames and receiver rule and also the pistol brace rule.
So if another way SCOTUS could find in favor of the bump stock ban would be to say that the ATF has the power to interpret the regulation. Is that how they would say it?
Well, they have the power to interpret the regulation if the regulation is unclear. The Chevron was only ever meant to be
For
used
civil
for
cases.
civil cases. The bump stock is where we first saw them use it on a criminal statute. Yeah. So we will see what happens. But yeah, this is mostly going to go after the APA. This is an APA case.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
100%.
Which is interesting because most people would talk of this in terms of the Second Amendment, which it affects this your right to keep and bear arms, but it's not a Second Amendment case per se.
Yeah, the GOA case was a bump stock case that one split 8-8 and didn't get a writ of cert. But this can have lasting effects through things. It can knock down the other two rules and can prevent the ATF from overextending their authority. Sorry, I keep on having to hit the cough button. So this is going to be a huge case.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot to text Michael Cargill again.
What? You're looking for a quote for him to talk out live? So Supreme Court, there's no trial. Do people get to present the brief? Certainly Cargill won't speak.
Yeah. There will be oral arguments where they both submit briefs and then they will argue in front of it, where the Supreme Court can actually do whatever. They can say, they can ask any questions that they want.
So this is where an amicus brief is something. That's the way to get your voice heard, is by submitting an amicus brief.
There will be tons of amicus briefs submitted on this.
All right. Do I have to put my pants on?
What? I'm not talking about, dude. Whatever. Let's just talk about this. There will be tons of amicus briefs submitted. The Duncan case, they do have a date in December for oral arguments, but we don't have anything more than that. The Duncan decision was stayed until the 9th can hear it. So this is okay. Chances of seeing pistol braces legal again. Chances of seeing SPR taken off the NFA and okay to have one. Pistol braces. If you're a GOA member, SAF, FPC, you're still allowed to have pistol braces. Pistol braces are not illegal, even if you're not a member. What makes it illegal if you put it on a rifle that is less than 16, have a barrel less than 16 inches. But yeah, if you're a member of SAF, GOA, FPC, you're not covered. You're not blocked from having a braced pistol. You're just not. I don't see pistol braces lasting the legal challenge. Even if this doesn't go our way, pistol braces, I believe, will go our way. But I have strong feelings that this will probably go our way. Now, if you want to talk about SBRs being taken off the NFA, that is a little steeper hill to climb, because we have to win challenging the NFA. In the courts right now don't really show too much interest of actually ruling on that. So the way we're going to have to beat like SBRs off the NFA is through Congress. I know it would be great just to do it. Yeah, rule of lenity is too many choices. Talks about the rule of lenity. The rule of lenity says basically any type of rule has to be interpreted in the favor of the citizenship of like the defendant, like a criminal defendant or whatever. So it has to favor the citizenship, and I don't think it does. But bump stocks definitely doesn't. So the Fifth Circuit also said that the bump stock rule violated the rule of lenity. So that is that. Oh, yep. So it's pretty good. It's a good situation here right now. This is one of the ones that I've been looking forward to, and I pretty much, not only me, like everyone really knew it was going to come down, what was going to happen. You know? So, yeah. So, that is basically it. Any other thoughts before we get out of here?
No, I'm good.
All right. Any other questions before we roll out of here? Why didn't the rule of lenity favor CRS? All right, let me answer this one. This is one because the government didn't say that they were interpreting the rule. They said this is what the law says. He was not convicted of breaking a rule, or anything like that, or it was ambiguous. The government tried to argue that it is not ambiguous, that any device that converts a semi-automatic pistol to a machine gun is a machine gun. And they argued that the auto key card was a conversion device.
So basically, all the court did is prove that it was a machine gun conversion device.
Yeah, so they didn't have to prove that they were interpreting any rule. They said that it's not ambiguous. It says this is what it is, and this is what it is. Oh, Rich, touch on. Okay. Now, I guess they're talking about pistol braces here. I'll touch on this really quick. There's millions of people right now that are covered by the injunctions.
So I'm not required to run around with my GOA, SAF, whatever card.
They already said.
So it would be hard for the ATF to enforce the pistol brace rule.
It would be impossible right now because it's already been said that none of the gun rights organizations have to give up the membership role.
But as far as we know, the ATF was told not to go after FRTs, the rare breed FRT, and they are.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a different situation here.
I think somebody got the junk smacked in the door on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I saw that, but it haven't happened. They never actually showed up. They said they were going to show up, but they never actually did. So someone overstepped their boundaries and wasn't aware of the injunction and whatnot. But with pistol braces, they are aware of it. And since organizations do not have to provide a membership, They don't have the membership from USPS. GOA mails out stuff to a lot of different people, and some people join and they don't actually even put in their address. So there's no way that they can have the membership from USPS. SAF, I'm a member of SAF, and SAF doesn't even send out membership cards. So there you go. The next one after bump stocks, if this is a win, I would think it would be pistol braces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do understand that they do send out letters and stuff, but you can opt out of that. So there's no way that they can tell who's a member and who's not. So even though that there is not a nationwide injunction, it is to the point where it is. This is not legal advice, by the way. It is to the point where it would be impossible to say you're a member of GOA, SAF, or FBC, or say you're a member of all of them, or say that you might be a member of all of them. So that way, you're not even lying. You're just saying, yeah. So this is a good thing. And yeah, overturn the GCA and NFA. That would be nice. I don't see that happening though, to be honest with you. Assault weapons case pending. There's 4 or 5 right now. I think 4 or 5 around the country. So we'll see what happens with that. Hold on, allegedly. I got that soundbite. All right.
Allegedly.
There you go, Sabar. Repeal the Hughes Amendment. If you don't know, that's a guy related to Rich here.
Nope.
All right, guys. If there's no more questions, we are going to get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this is good news. And hopefully we will have something by within like a year and a half.
Is it 18 months, really?
It could be.
It's not going to be June next year?
I don't think it's going to be. It will. I don't think it will be. It won't be heard until the spring session.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I don't think that they're going to release something. So I would say 12 to 18 months.
Wow.
But there is light at the end of the tunnel. Do you have monogram pillows and towels? I'm not going to even answer that. I do not have monogram. I guess I will. I do not have any monogram pillows or towels.
But some have my handprints on them.
Yes. Yeah, like display towels. Display. All right. Yeah. I have display towels. Make fun of me as much as you want. All right, guys. That is it. Some of those things are more expensive than meeting my guns. No, just joking about that. I'm joking. They all come from Sears or Macy's or wherever they sell towels. All right, guys. That's it. I will see you guys. What's your hold on. Another question. What's your thoughts on the 2023 ammo shortage? You can still get ammo everywhere, so I think it's overblown.
Yeah, I think we had a higher demand than normal, and that drove speculation of a shortage. But I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not really seeing it.
Is there any news on the 80% lowers?
Hmm.
Yeah, Polymer 80 still has their injunction.
Didn't Polymer 80 say, "Oh, it's that finger" to the injunction?
no, that you're thinking of 80% arms.
Oh, 80% arms told them
80%
F off.
arms is still that was stayed, and there is still a there's no injunction. The injunctions were stayed. Polymer 80 is the only one that has an injunction right now. Defense distributed and 80% arms injunctions have been stayed. So we'll see what happens. The Supreme Court is reviewing that. That was stayed thanks to Amy Coney Barrett and Roberts. So there you go. Did you get your medical done, Rich?
No, not yet. I'm building stairs for my doggy.
Okay. Update on the suppressors. Okay, there are 2 cases that were combined up in Illinois. One by ASA, the American Suppressor Association, and there's also one by Steven Stambolia and his client. He's representing a guy up there. They combined those cases. Now the ASA and Stambolia, the machine gun lawyer himself, are working on the case together because the cases are combined. Briefings have been filed in that. We are just waiting to get a date. They have a good chance of winning. It's very interesting, the whole entire suppressor thing, because suppressors, I believe. Okay, I'm going to be very careful what I say. Suppressors are firearms. That's what I'm going to say. For us, I know a lot of people are going to be like, they are accessories, but it's better for us for them to be firearms than accessories. Accessories do not have two-way protection.
Okay.
So you can ban them. If they are considered firearms, then they have some type of protection. So it is better for them to be considered firearms. I know in Europe they are considered accessories. You can buy them over the counter, and I wish that they would do that. And there's a lot of anti-gunners that are pushing for them to be reclassified as accessories so they can be banned.
Ooh.
Without a Second Amendment
Ouch.
challenge.
Ouch.
So, yeah. So that is one of the things that a lot of people don't look at. That's why if you look at Stambolia's case and ASA's case, they're arguing that they are firearms so they can make Second Amendment, in common use arguments. Now, if they weren't considered arms, then you lose the Second Amendment argument.
The protection of in common use.
Yeah, the protection of in common use.
Interesting. Alrighty, Crumpy, let's wrap.
How is banning accessory? You can roll off. I'm just going to answer a few of these questions.
Alrighty, man.
How are banning accessories legal? The only regulation, you can only regulate firearms. The ATF can only regulate firearms. The Congress can ban whatever the hell they want, as long as it's not firearms. 3D printing is legal. Magazines by default are accessories because magazines are needed for certain firearms to function. So that's why they are considered arms. Yeah. So that is something I went through a bunch of different arguments about this, and I talked to a bunch of lawyers. And yeah, the body armor thing, maybe, but yeah, that suppressors are definitely covered in the Second Amendment because they're regulated as firearms. Magazines are needed for firearms to function. Ammo is needed for the firearms to function. Yeah, well, what I'm saying, too many choices is if they are removed and they are just seen as accessories, then since they are not critical for the function of a firearm, they don't have the Second Amendment protection. FRTs are triggers, therefore they are critical for the function of a firearm. Yeah, so that is some of the stuff. It's yeah, right here. Weapons for offense, armor for defense. So yeah, well, so it's very interesting. It's a lot easier to do it, and there's been judges that have ruled against suppressors by saying that they're not firearms, even though that they are, that the government considers they are. And there's been cases in the past where it got overturned because they're regulated as firearms. So it just depends. See what happens. Why is Congress talking about gun bans when they know it will probably be struck down? Easy. It's a political game. They are playing political games. They don't have the votes to get a gun ban passed. They know that they don't have a vote, and they want to get votes from their anti-gun constituents. They want that sweet, sweet Bloomberg money. So they're going to play games. Scott says, hopefully the Supreme Court makes an example of the ATF. I hope you're right. I am part of the fight. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying this is the thoughts of the court. Emergency powers will be used for what? Okay. They cannot use triggers from Big Daddy Unlimited. The injunction only covers. You can use whatever the hell you want, but the injunction only covers rare breed triggers, the FRT 15. That is what's covered, not the wide open trigger. Congress doesn't care if it's unconstitutional. Dangle Matt says, correct. I am optimistic about the future of 2A. If you look at where we were in the late 90s compared to now, we have more rights that we've had since probably late 30s. Maybe not. Well, right now, probably since 68. Our money is going to other countries. That is correct. Okay, so if SCOTUS denied cert, it would have upheld the Fifth Circuit's decision, but only in the Fifth Circuit. And the Sixth, they would still be banned. And DC, they would still be banned. And the 11th, they still would be banned. So we would have a circuit split. So the majority of the country would not be able to own bump stocks because that would only apply to the Fifth Circuit. So the majority of the and also there's one where was it? The sixth? No, not the sixth. The eighth, I believe. I'll have to look it up again. Is it the fifth? Huh. No, I can't remember. I think it's the eighth. Eighth or 10th, one of the two. No, it's the eighth. The 10th, it would be illegal in most of the country, let's put it that way. Getting all my cases mixed up in my head. Okay. Will the ATF appeal the most recent ruling on pistol braces or will they let it go? I'm surprised that they haven't tried to get that stayed. I don't think that they would get it stayed anyway, because right now it's maintaining the status quo from before the rule went into effect. Because unlike the frames and receiver rule, the injunctions came before the deadline to register. So, and there's no exception to register if the injunction gets stayed. So you have irreparable harm there. You have extreme irreparable harm. You have standing there. So I don't think that they are going to appeal because they know that they will lose because of the amount of hurdles that they would have to cover. So I don't see them appealing that and asking for it to be stayed, for they know it will lose. Four Boxes Diner, Mark from Four Boxes Diner is freaking fantastic. A circuit split will be being addressed in a case coming from those circuits will look better from us. The circuit split will make most of the country still illegal to own a bump stock. Because think about the ninth. The ninth, when they review it, they're not gonna look to the fifth. They're gonna look to DC or one of the other places that ruled that they are machine guns. So they're not going to rule. And even though it was an 8-8 split in the sixth, it goes down to the district court decision. Even though a panel of 3 judges decided that a bump stock is not a machine gun. Actually, I have a patch that says that somewhere back there. But that decision was vacated like it's never happened, and the decision goes down to the district court level. So in the sixth, it still would be illegal even though they split. So like the ninth or whatever is going to look to the courts that will give them the decision that they want, and not like the fifth where they don't want that decision. That makes any sense. Grenade launchers and hand grenades are protected by the Second Amendment in the Constitution because they existed decades before they were ratified. 100%. We got to challenge that, but 100%. But you can still get a grenade or a grenade launcher. It's $200 fee to the ATF, which is unconstitutional in my view, but they're not illegal. I have a grenade launcher in the other room over there. The the FPC law case. If you're covered, you can go to a range with it, no problem. I'm covered under the GOA with my pistol braces, and I take it to the range all day. So that is it. No other questions here. Got to be going pretty soon here. So want to answer as many questions as you want. You are charged an extortion fee for exercising your rights. I equate it more to a poll tax, which was ruled unconstitutional. There is a case called Murdoch versus Pennsylvania. Murdoch was a Jehovah's Witness that was going door to door, and Pennsylvania tried to get him to pay a fee, a soliciting fee, to go door to door to preach his gospel. The Supreme Court ruled that you cannot put a direct direct tax on a right. And I believe that the NFA is a direct tax on a right, and it violates the Murdoch decision. The problem is getting courts to actually hear the case and decide right. And there's been challenges to the NFA, but they usually die before they get up to the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court always denies cert to any case. The Pittman-Robertson Act does put a direct tax on firearms and ammunition. I personally is against the Pittman-Robertson Act. I know there's a lot of hunters that are actually for it. What the Pittman-Robertson Act does, it charges 11% excise tax on guns and ammunition, and that is used to maintain federal hunting grounds. So a lot of hunters like it, a lot of fudge like it. Me, I don't like it. I'm also not a hunter, but even if I was a hunter, I wouldn't like it because it is a direct tax on a right. Because some hunters are actually anti-2A. Very good. That's why they are FUDs. Not all hunters. There's more hunters that are pro-2A than anti-2A, but there are people that are anti-2A that hunt. For example, there is a guy that used to work for Kimber who is a idiot, and Ryan Boosie, and he is a hunter. Even though a hunter, 100%, that's what it's for. But I don't believe in hunter license either. I think those should be gone. But 100%, that goes. But that's state. Hunting license goes to the state to maintain state forest and everything. Pittman Roberts goes towards federal lands. Yep. St. Benitez did bitch slap him down pretty well. Yeah. I've been there. Yeah, a lot of shotgun hunters do hate MSRs. Oh, what watch is that? Oh, that's a Rolex? Ken, are you a watch guy? I just picked up a Yachtmaster 2 and a Super Ocean, Breitling Super Ocean. So there you go. So those are being shipped to me. Yay. Yeah, federally stolen land for the American people. Correct. Which is really funny. If you look out west, you see massive swaths of land. The majority of land west of the Mississippi is actually owned by the federal government. Maybe his wife got knocked up by someone else. Yeah, I like the Super Ocean. This is my Apple Watch, but I got the mesh. So yeah, it looks really nice. The Yachtmaster 2 is more of an investment than anything else. But yeah, I have a extensive watch collection. Watches are one of my other passions. I got about, I don't know, 30. The watch I really want, I know this isn't gun related, but I want the Moon Swatch. But they're really hard to find, and they're not that expensive, but they're extremely hard to find, and not even limited edition. I went to the Moon version of the Moon Swatch. Yeah, but that is a nice watch. Yeah, I want to get the watch I really want. I'm not really into pocket watches. Get a speeding then. The watch I really want is like I want an AP Royal Oak, which I can't afford because they're for like 40,000. And also a Paul Newman, which is also kind of expensive. Yeah, actually, my kid picked the Snoopy thing, but the Snoopy. I don't know. I like the pandas. You gun guys are probably like, "What the hell is he talking about? Pandas, Paul Newmans, root beers, Pepsis, Coca-Colas." Yeah. All right, guys. I guess that is going to be it for now. So I hope that you guys have a great day. And Nate D, if you want a really good watch that is not that expensive, look up Tussauds. Yeah, the Speedmasters are good. The original Moon watch. That's what Swatch did a collab with the Moon Swatch. So it's basically a modern day Swatch Speedmaster for like a fraction of the cost. But yep. Okay, we are out. Thank you so much. You have a great day. Enjoy your weekend and spread the news if you want. I have my book. I'm going to put the link one more time. If you want to buy my book, there you go. All right, guys, that is it. See you later. Bye. Yeah, Swatch does own Omega. That's why they did their collab.